When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Catches, puts up a three, won't go, rebound Bosch, back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang! Tie game, 5 seconds remaining! Owens can tap in, and he's got 6 for Georgetown. Brown, Strowman, off the goal! He dropped the end zone! Reeves wins the series. It's Lillard, he got the shot off!
T7N Radio brings to you the best of 7 sports talk with 7 Mitchell.
You are now rocking with the best. Welcome back to the best of 7 sports talk here on T7N Radio. I'm your host, as always, the kid 7 Mitchell. Appreciate y'all locking in with us tonight. We recapping this Monday. We playing Monday morning quarterback at 6 o'clock in the evening. We do what we want to do here. That's how we do. That's how we give it up. You already know what it is. NFL Week 6, recap and review. We are locked in. Make sure y'all join us tonight. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. Make sure y'all subscribe right now to the YouTube channel as well. We definitely appreciate all the new subscriptions. All the new viewers, man, we are locked and loaded. We got so many debates on deck. Joining me, as always, my partner in crime out in Charlotte. We got the Devil's Advocate. J.O. in the building. What's popping?
Yo, man, I'm in the building. It's going to be one of them days.
One of them days, yes, sir. You already know what it's hitting for, man. It's Monday, and we got NFL to talk about, recapping Week 6, as I stated earlier. We also going to talk a little bit of NBA, man. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. We got so much to lock in with, man. So, again, callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102, man. Let's do what we came to do. Let's start the show off right, man. Let's get to America's team, them Dallas Cowboys. How about the Dallas Cowboys, J.O.?
Well, the America's team beat my team.
Exactly.
And, I'm still recovering off that loss. It was pretty gruesome.
Well, let me put a little bit of more salt in the wounds. Yesterday, Dallas Cowboys went into Lambeau Field, won 30-16 over the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 31-42, 294 yards, had a touchdown. The Dallas Cowboys offense, led by Ezekiel Elliott, 28 carries for 175 yards. Dak Prescott, 18 for 27, 247 yards. He had 3 touchdown passes. He did throw his first interception. Very poised throughout the game. The Green Bay wideouts, they suffered. Does it seem like your team, to me, J.O., was real out of sync? A lot of drop balls by the wide receiver. To me, Aaron Rodgers was throwing a lot of untimely throws.
Man, we just looked slow and lethargic, man. You know what I'm saying? Our receivers can't get open, no separation, no big playability. We don't have a player that could just bust a game wide open. You know what I'm saying? Not at the running back position or the receiver or the tight end position. So our offense is just pretty much dry and we're not explosive, plain and simple.
God damn, but you know what? I got to give you your props because, I went out on a limb and told you I wasn't convinced about Ezekiel Elliott when the season first started. Like, after the first 3 games, I said I wasn't convinced. But, man, good night. Ezekiel Elliott, 703 yards on the season. At this point, he's the second most in the player, first 6 games behind Eric Dickerson, who had 787 yards in his first 6 games of his first career. He's the real deal. Like, what do you think of Ezekiel Elliott?
Ezekiel Elliott's a complete package. I mean, he's what you're looking for in a running back. And a lot of running backs of his caliber, don't come out the draft too often. And then you place him with the most dominant offensive line that I've seen in years. And he had these gaping holes that he just running through, with the size and power and strength that he has. That's tough to deal with for any team.
Now, your Green Bay Packers, they really on a short week, they hosting the Chicago Bears at home this upcoming Thursday night. This game against the Cowboys was the worst defeat that Green Bay has suffered at home with Aaron Rodgers at the starter since 2011, I think, in the division playoffs against the Giants, where they lost 37-20. What is it going to take for your guys to bounce back this Thursday in a short week and get a win against the Bears?
Well, luckily for us, we played, an average team in the Bears who we owned for years. But what it's going to take is we got to stop the run. We came into the game against Dallas as second. I think we was leading the NFL in run defense. So we have to sew that up and force Bears to throw the ball down the field with Hoyer. We just have to go back to the fundamentals, man. Just tackling and winning up front. But I'm not too ecstatic about this year's Green Bay team. I still think we got a chance because we still have another game against Minnesota, who seem to be possibly the best team in the NFC. And, I don't think any of us is still too sure about Sam Bradford, going down the stretch. But Minnesota, they seem to be well-balanced, a well-balanced team, and their defense is probably top 3, so.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7 Radio with 7 Mitchell and J.O. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. We're talking Green Bay Packers versus Dallas Cowboys. So I got to ask you the million-dollar question, J.O., because now we at a point, the Dallas Cowboys is going into a bye week. October 30th, they're going to be locked in with the Philadelphia Eagles. I got to ask you the million-dollar question at this point by him going in Lambeau Field, getting a W. Putting up 3 touchdowns. He did, again, throw his first interception of his career. But who should the Cowboys go with for the remainder of the season? Do you shake it up and go with Romo, or do you keep it lit the way it is with Dak Prescott? I told you at the beginning of the year offensively that there could be a issue or concern with separation in that locker room. And I felt like Dez Bryant may have a say, maybe not a say, because he don't trump what Jerry Jones wants. Whatever Jerry Jones wants is going to go down bottom line. But just as far as public relations, I felt like Dez Bryant might have a say in who he might feel comfortable with. So I need you at this point now to tell me, who do you feel Dez will side with now that we 5-6 games in, and reality check-wise, who do you think the Cowboys with Jerry Jones is actually going to go with?
I think they're going to stick with Dak Prescott. I think it would be a divide with the team if Romo came back. I think the Cowboys could potentially be more explosive with Romo. And as far as Dez, I think Dez would prefer to have Romo because, if you really look at it, Dez haven't been putting up big numbers with Dak Prescott. I think he had a 100-yard game. The other ones, was pretty. He had some weak games. So I think with his chemistry with Romo, he would prefer to have Romo. And in actuality, I think Jerry Jones would rather have Romo. I don't know, man. I think Jerry Jones got something up his sleeve, man. I think he won't. He knows this is pretty much Romo last year with the Cowboys, and I think he would love for his son, Tony Romo, to win, just to say, "I told you so."
But this debate has always been kind of comical to me, because it seems like we all have lost sight on who we talking about. I'm going to take a quote from Stephen A. Smith when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. J.O., you've heard it millions and millions and millions of times. An accident waiting to happen. Clearly, the move to be made for an accident to happen is bringing Tony Romo back. And that's exactly what I anticipate happening. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are getting off to an unbelievable start. They got division wins. I mean, they're looking solid in the NFC, period. Bringing Tony Romo in, I don't think it's going to really mess up any regular season chances. Dallas needs to win in the postseason. Dak Prescott has not really went through any type of adversity as of yet. So that's one thing that gives you cause to pause. You don't really know how well Dak may play later in the season against NFC teams, especially on the road. He did play well against Aaron Rodgers, but, Green Bay just didn't play good yesterday. Like I said, a lot of drop balls. Aaron Rodgers was not sharp. But I think the smart move, I agree with you. Keep Dak on, stay hot. But this is the Dallas Cowboys we're talking about. This is Jerry Jones. It's an accident waiting to happen. And waiting to happen is Tony Romo to come back so they can lose again in the postseason. So I definitely anticipate Tony Romo coming back just because of the resume of the Dallas Cowboys.
I think he's going to come back because this is Jerry Jones knows he's going to get rid of him after this year.
The Buffalo Bills and San Francisco 49ers. Buffalo Bills 45-16 over the 49ers. LaShawn McCoy had 140 yards rushing and matched the career high by scoring 3 times. He had the hat trick. The Bills extended their winning streak to 4 games. Colin Kaepernick on the night, J.O. was 13 for 29, had 187 yards passing, had a touchdown pass to Torrey Smith. What was your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills defense dominant LaShawn McCoy and Kaepernick's return?
Well, first and foremost, let's just acknowledge that the 49ers is just not a good football team to begin with. And so, we have Kaepernick who first game of the season, so I don't think anybody's surprised that he didn't put up godly numbers. So, there's no surprise there, especially playing against a hot team like Buffalo, who I believe won 4 in a row. The setup was pretty much obvious. So I was expecting a pretty convincing win from Buffalo, and anybody with some football sense knew Kaepernick wasn't going to just win that game.
Was it the right move to bring Kaepernick back? They lost 45-16. We definitely both predicted the Bills to come out with a win, but even though Kaepernick didn't play bad, like you said, they just looked just overwhelmingly dominated by the Buffalo Bills on both sides of the field. Do you think the 49ers should have kept Blaine Gabbert?
No, I think Kaepernick gives them the better chance of winning football games. I think he's a better player than Gabbert. Kaepernick actually ran the ball pretty well. He had 66 yards on 8 carries, so that's a plus heading to the next week. But, it's just he's never been a great Kaepernick is not a great quarterback. We just judging off his last 2 to 3 seasons. He's not very good to begin with. I'm rooting for him. I hope he do well, and he's been a class act for majority of his little controversy. Besides the pig socks, which we all agree was kind of crazy, but
right.
I don't think he's good enough to save the 49ers.
Also in NFL action yesterday, the San Diego Chargers 21-13 over the Denver Broncos. The Washington Redskins led by Kirk Cousins 27-20 over Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz. I told you I thought that bye week that Philadelphia suffered a couple weeks ago really messed up their momentum. They now coming off of 2 losses in a row. What's your thoughts on the Eagles play?
I don't know, man. Teams just, there's more tape on Carson Wentz now. So, a lot of stuff he was getting, is not seem to be wide open as when he first 4 or 5 games. So, it's tightened up for him. I still think he's playing pretty well, and of course, he got a big game against Dallas the next couple of weeks. You got the rookie quarterback versus the rookie quarterback. Showcase.
This is Dak's world. The NFC East is just trying to find a way to live in it. When we come back here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, we're going to lock in more NFL recap in the Week 6. We also got some NBA to talk about. And when we return, man, we got a new special segment. We got a fan mail segment, special segment. We got a fan mail with J.O. We're going to have some special, we're going to need some advice from the big homie, the Devil's Advocate J.O. We got some fan mail. We got some questions for the big homie. When we come back on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, we are locked and loaded. Don't go nowhere.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media T7M Radio on YouTube.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with J07 Mitchell. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. Let's get into a little bit of fan mail with J.O. First letter comes out of Boston. Dear J.O., I'm just coming off of my first home win. Carving up your Super Bowl pick, Cincinnati Bengals. I'm putting the league on notice. Is it safe to say that I'm a shoo-in to win my 5th Super Bowl? Signed, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is old. He's about to be 40, and I've never seen a quarterback that old win a Super Bowl, so why now?
Wow. Oh, man. Well, we got another letter. Look like this one is coming out of your backyard in Carolina. Looks like it's coming out of Charlotte. Dear J.O., my team is now 1-5, struggling on both sides of the field. And to top it off, I keep having to give deuces in my press conference because of stupid questions asked by the media. What will it take for us to turn this season around? Signed, Cam.
Well, Mr. Cam Newton, first of all, you've been in the league too long to not have great footwork. You have terrible mechanics. You're not surveying the field. You're not doing your pre-reads before the snap. So you, Mr. Cam, is now you are waste. The season is basically hogwash. Your offensive line is terrible. Your secondary is terrible without Josh Norman. You, Mr. Cam Newton, first of all, you need to get your etiquettes better in your press conference. Cause,
talk to that nigga. Talk to that nigga.
Let me talk to this young man. Yo, if Cam was my son, I swear I'd take off my belt. I would take off my belt on Cam. You know, when act like a baby, we gotta treat him like a baby.
He walked off of the net, Cam Newton question. Also, man, in NFL Action Week 6, man, the Seattle Seahawks with a come from behind win over the Atlanta Falcons, 26-24. Matt Ryan, he was 27 for 42, 335 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a 1 interception in the losing effort. You got Russell Wilson, who you proclaim to be the best quarterback in the NFL, was 25 for 37, 270 yards, didn't have any touchdowns, but he didn't turn the football over. Richard Sherman exploded on the sidelines in the third quarter. Seattle was able to use that to their advantage, and they manned up in the second half, and they pulled off a dope comeback win against the Atlanta Falcons. What was your thoughts on Seattle's play?
Seattle gutted it out, you know what I'm saying? You had the best quarterback in the NFL, Russell Wilson. You had arguably the best cornerback, Richard Sherman, who made some bad plays in the second half, but, you know, Seattle has a brotherhood, and, you know, they gathered around Richard Sherman, and they made a big play in the end. Earl Thomas got an interception. All is well. You know, I still would like the run game to get back like how it was with Marshawn Lynch, but, I mean, Seattle does what Seattle do. Win close games, win in the end. Russell Wilson lead the NFL in fourth-quarter comeback since his arrival in the NFL. I mean, just a same thing, different day.
Yeah, I am concerned about the injury problem Seattle. Seattle's banged up, whether, you know, a lot are willing to admit it or not. You know, Russell Wilson is not that healthy. Cam Chancellor is banged up. Bennett is now hurt. And they definitely got a couple other pieces that's hurt. Coming off a concussion scare. Baldwin, I believe, last week. So Seattle does have problems, but they definitely show guts. I definitely anticipate the Falcons and Seattle possibly meeting later on down the road, later on this year, maybe in the postseason. You know, a lot of times we get games, J.O., in the season that, you know, wind up meaning something later on in the year. You know what I mean? Even if it's not a division. So I definitely can keep my eyes locked on Seattle and Atlanta, possibly meeting up in the playoffs. Now, Matt Ryan, I mean, he is bananas right now. He's on a streak. He's throwing 200-plus yards in 44 straight games. What's your thoughts on Matt Ryan?
I mean, a lot of people will argue he's MVP so far in this short season. Facts. You know, I'm still not sold on him completely, but if anybody's sold on is Julio. So, as long as he continue to get Julio the ball and they both stay healthy, I think they can have one of those great Atlanta Falcons seasons and then come up short in the playoffs. So that's what I'm expecting.
Also, other NFL action, the New Orleans Saints beat out the Carolina Panthers 41-38. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Chicago Bears 17-16. The Detroit Lions beat the LA Rams 31-28. Big Ben Roethlisberger got hurt. He just will be, a matter of fact, I believe he's going to be having some type of surgery going on. We can talk about that a little bit later. But the Steelers, they lost another game. They lost 30-15 to the Miami Dolphins. The whole AFC North lost yesterday, including the Bengals to the Patriots 35-17. So my Ravens didn't lose that much ground, even though they lost. Odell Beckham kind of tore us up, 27-23. I got to talk about Odell because this is confusing me. Because, see, last week he kissed the net and considered it a he and said that, and now this week he proposed. And, I mean, I don't want to say this is and I don't have any problems with gay marriage or none of that. But are we seeing something out of this, J.O.? I mean, is he taking another type of stand?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going over our heads. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy. I mean, his sexuality been called into play for like the last 2 seasons, and then he kisses the damn net last week and characterizes it as a he, and now he gets on one knee, proposes, and says yes. I mean, I'm just confused right now what's going on. But that's Odell Beckham for you. But yeah, the Giants did pull off, Eli Manning and Odell Beckham. They did pull off a 27-23 win against my Baltimore Ravens. AFC West battle, the Chiefs beat up on the Raiders 26-10. I was definitely surprised to see the Chiefs beat up on the Oakland Raiders the way they did. Derek Carr, 22 for 34, 225 yards. He had 1 touchdown, but just wasn't enough to get on Kansas City. And last night, the Texans, 26-23 over Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Tonight, we got the Arizona Cardinals hosting the New York Jets. Arizona Cardinals hosting the New York Jets. Monday Night Football. Who you got tonight?
I'm going with the Cardinals. They due for a monster game. Jets, Reeves is banged up. Fitzpatrick is, he's throwing the ball all over the place to the wrong team. So I'm taking the Cardinals to take this game pretty handily.
Todd Bowles and company, man. Brandon Marshall was so underrated to me. I mean, he gets his props. He gets respect. But, I mean, it's just, man, he makes some big-time plays, man. I really like Brandon Marshall. And then he goes on inside the NFL and he do his thing on inside the NFL. So, shout out to Brandon Marshall. But, yeah, too many weapons for Arizona if they can get everything intact because they have not played well at home this year. But if they can get everything intact, I think they should be able to give the Jets some problems, those defensive backs some problems. So I'm going with Arizona as well tonight, Monday Night Football. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7Net Radio. When we come back, J.O. and myself, we're going to lock into some NBA action.
The Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell.
That's cute, man. Cute. But, my job is to be able to worry about what's going on here, and we gonna worry about all the selfish guys who got over here, apparently. So we gonna figure that out.
Is it hard, Russ, not to take everything that he says and feel like it's a shot at you guys?
I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter. My job is to worry about here. Honestly, I'm really tired of talking about it. So anytime anybody asks me another question, I'm just not going to answer. Just FYI. I'm not talking about it no more.
That was OKC's guard, superstar Russell Westbrook, responding to comments about Kevin Durant. J.O., you heard the post-game remarks. Kevin Durant was speaking on Golden State and what his feelings is on Golden State. He felt like he said he was happy that he's playing with a selfless team. Was Russell Westbrook's response, J.O., out of bounds?
Russell Westbrook's response was spot on. outside, the criticism well. He's been taking the criticism well since day one. Surprisingly to a lot of people, that Westbrook has been the more classy individual when it comes to this. I don't know why Kevin Durant keeps, poking the bear. And I don't know, he really needs to man up, you know what I'm saying? I know he's, mama's boy, he's kind of sensitive, all the above. But, man, he's really looking like a bitch right now because, first of all, you didn't give Russell Westbrook a call. You still haven't gave him a call, and he's not accepting your calls. He didn't find out that you left until he turned on the television and found out that, it's a terrible way for your heart to be broken. So Kevin Durant, if anything, he should issue a public apology to Russell Westbrook at this point. Westbrook a better man than me because I would have let him loose on Kevin Durant. He probably would have done it publicly. Shout out to Westbrook for just manning up and just being classy about the whole situation. And no props to Durant.
First of all, you should be banned from talking basketball on this podcast show. That's number one. Now Russell Westbrook, superstar. I said that from the gate. He is an emotional type of player. He has a killer will that Durant may never have. But the reality is this. How dare you, Russell Westbrook, be so disrespectful and open your mouth and talk about and catch feelings about what Kevin Durant feels about his new team like anything he said was false? Everything that Kevin Durant said about his potential experience with the Golden State Warriors, and if you want to call it a shot, J.O., it does not matter if it was a shot. Let's not forget that 2 years ago, before this whole Steph Curry thing blew up, Kevin Durant was the MVP of the NBA. He was arguably probably the number 2 person and the best player in the NBA behind LeBron James. Russell Westbrook has never done anything without Kevin Durant of some stature. He had a whole bunch of triple-doubles. He's on the court, like I said, he's a killer. But Russell Westbrook, how dare you get on camera and catch feelings? Talk about you need to be concerned with these careless teams. Maybe so, starting with yourself. And then you sitting here, J.L., talking about a classy individual. What is he going to say? Russell Westbrook really, I don't want to go out on a limb and say he wouldn't be nothing without Kevin Durant. But early on in his career, man, Kevin Durant set the stage. Let's not act like Westbrook has took that team on his back when he's had a couple opportunities to and got him over the hump. Mind you, just 2 years ago, he didn't make the postseason because he ended the year with like 9 triple-doubles or something of that nature. Selfish play. Everything Kevin Durant said was true. And the fact that this guy is sitting up here saying that, it's cute, and he's not going to answer it no more. Well, I got news for you, Russell Westbrook. That's all you're going to do this year, Playboy, is answer these types of questions. Because Oklahoma City not going to be able to be successful coming out of the West. You're going to be in Kevin Durant's shadow at least for this upcoming season. So, looking forward to you, Playboy, answering all of these questions. All of these questions. That's the only thing people going to want to know coming out of Russell Westbrook. And you are so disrespectful. You should be banned from talking NBA on this show.
You are so disrespectful to Russell Westbrook, who you refer to him as like Kevin Durant has carried him. He carried the team a lot of times in the fourth quarter when Durant's supposed to be the second best player in the league, and he's not having no killer instinct to be the second best player in the league. So how you gonna take Russell Westbrook for picking up Kevin Durant's slack, and you say Durant started off like he was just a superstar, he'd made his accomplishments, but guess what? Westbrook overtook him, took over his team, forced him to leave. Because Kevin Durant didn't want to be, he didn't want to man up and be the man.
Wait a minute.
You're so disrespectful.
Did you just say that Russell Westbrook made Kevin Durant leave and took over his team? Really?
He took over his team, Durant. He couldn't deal with the fact that Westbrook took over the team, so he left.
Oh my Lord!
Instead of being Westbrook's Batman, he left.
You should be incarcerated. You should be incarcerated. You should go to jail for these comments. You should have to spend the night in jail for these comments. And you can be by yourself. I don't want nothing to happen to you, but you need to be put in a bullpen by yourself for 12 hours until the commissioner lets you go in the morning for saying something so rude.
Wait a minute.
So disrespectful.
Was Kevin Durant not up 3-1 against Oakland? I mean,
was Russell Westbrook basically non-existent in Game 6 and Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals against Golden State in that 3-1 that they was up? Let's not forget about that as well.
Was that not Game 6? Durant just completely just choked down the stretch. Completely.
I understand that. But Kevin Durant has taken this team with Russell Westbrook to the NBA Finals in 2012. Kevin Durant was the MVP by the best player in the world.
Why?
But he still averaged 30 points in the NBA. He averaged over 31 points in the NBA Finals that year. Where was Westbrook? And we see the chemistry lose when James, look, we're not going to do this right now. You know, the NBA season has not even started. And already I got to put you on notice because Lord, I don't know what to say to you. Oh, my Lord. This is crazy. But the bottom line is, like I said before, Russell Westbrook, somebody should duct tape his mouth until the regular season starts.
Well, that's what he's been doing.
No,
that's what he's been doing.
He can't talk.
Durant that can't keep his mouth closed.
Robin can't talk when Batman's talking, J.O. You know what time it is? Everybody want to hear what Kevin Durant has to say in the offseason. This is Kevin Durant's world. Anything Westbrook says out his mouth, he's going to seem like a hater. He knows his role.
He's still going to be Batman. I hope he's satisfied with being Batman.
Unbelievable. Switching over to the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We did say clearly the most anticipated matchup in the NBA Finals would be the Cavs and the Warriors to go at it for the third consecutive time. But just coming out of the Eastern Conference, J.O., who would you say is the Cavaliers' biggest challenge?
Man, I'm going to have to say, this going to surprise you, but I like the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Milwaukee Bucks is the most lengthiest team in probably in the NBA with Greek the Freak. He's running point guard at 6'11", completely changing the game. You had Jabari Parker, who I believe is going to be a superstar this year. And they have a lot of other pieces with Monroe and Plumlee, big guys, drafted Thon Maker. I'm looking forward to them to surprisingly, I don't think they would be a top 2 team in the playoffs. I mean, in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I think they give the Cavs the best shot as far as matching up in athleticism.
Well, I got my New York Knicks.
Surprises.
I know surprisingly so. But, it's just so many questions, J.O., because I'm just realizing that the Derrick Rose, the rape allegation case, it's a civil suit, so he's not really expecting any jail time. Yeah, it's heating up, but he's not expecting any jail time behind it. But he may not be on the court at all until the situation is over. So I am concerned about that. I am definitely concerned about the fact that we allowed J.R. Smith to go back to Cleveland. We let that happen. And we still missing some pieces. Preseason-wise, I see some potential at certain positions, but we still don't look like a team. I was not convinced on Jeff Hornacek set at the coach's spot. So I'm hoping that before the All-Star break, my Knicks can make some type of adjustment and make a postseason run. If we can just get in the playoffs with a healthy team, I think we'd be decent. So, Chris Bosh, I don't think he's going to be coming back to Miami. Chicago looking tough, though. I'm not going to lie. Chicago just beat the Cavaliers. Chicago's definitely looking tough. But NBA is just different from NFL. 7-game series. It's not anything can happen any given night type of situation. So I think maybe the Knicks might be able to give Cleveland the biggest challenge if Carmelo can step it up.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.